Give a fuck. Okay, where did we stop? Hmm. Stopped on. Let me start from here. Okay. I had to go eat. I had some ribs in my tea. Saw another cow. I did it again. Mm, okay. I stumble back and hinge over, wheezing as nausea climbs up my throat. For a moment, I worried Yaman's crush my ribs, but the ache in my abdomen dwells that fear. I mean, it's not where I want to start. Okay, about the girl coming in. The soldier spit it out, child. They're coming. Basi, Bisi finally exclaims, they're close. They're almost here. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. I didn't think anyone can. Fear paralyzed every inch of our beings. Then the will to survive takes over. Quickly, Mama Agba hisses. We don't have much time. I pull Yami to her feet. She's still wheezing, but there's no time to make sure she's okay. Make sure I'm still on. So y'all decided to fuck with me. That's okay. I grab her staff and rush to collect the others. The adhere erupts in blur of chaos as everyone races to hide the truth. Meters of bright fabrics fly through the air. An army of reed mannequins, whatever it is, rises. With so much happening at once, there's no way of knowing whether we hide everything in time. We'll hide everything in time. All I can do is focus on my task, shoving each staff under the arena mat where they can't be seen. As I finish, Yemai thrusts a wooden needle into my hands. I'm still running to my designated station when the sheets covering the adhere entrance open again. Zelly, Mama Agba barks. I freeze. Every eye in adhere turns to me. Before I can speak, Mama Agba slips the back of slaps the back of my head, a sting only she can summon tears down my spine. Stay at your station, she snaps. You need all the practice you can get. Mama Egba, she leans in as my pulse races, eyes gleaming with the truth. A distraction, a way to bide us time. I'm sorry, Mama Egba, forgive me. Just get back to your station. I bite back a smile and bow my head in apology, sweeping low enough to survey the guards who entered. Like most soldiers in Orisha, the shorter of the two has a complexion that matches Yima's, brown like worn leather. Hello, y'all, I'm back. Hi, Uduck, Uduak. Email me, please. I don't have an email, sweetheart. I mean, I don't have my email up there. What's the? You Brazilian? No, I'm not. French more. Louise. Where I stopped at. Mm-hmm. The short of the two. Okay, explain her. Framed with thick black hair. Though we're only young girls, he keeps his hand on the pommel of his sword. His grip tightens, as if at any moment one of us could strike. The other guard stands tall, solemn, and serious, much darker than his counterpart. He stays near the entrance, eyes focused on the ground. Perhaps he has the NCDNCY to feel shame for whatever it is they're about to do. Mm. Both men flaunt the royal seal of King Serena, Saran, stark on their iron breastplates, just a glaze at the ornament, innate snow, lip panary makes Leopanare makes my stomach clench, a harsh reminder of the monarch who sent them. I make a show of sulking back to my reed mannequin, legs nearly collapse in relief. Hello, Louis. I already said something to you, didn't I? What once resembled an arena now plays the convincing part of the seamstress shop. Bright tribal factor adorns the mannequins in front of each girl. Mannequins, Mannequins. Cut and pin in Mama Agba's signature patterns, signature patterns, which stitch the hems of the same dashik is we've been stitching for years, sewing in the silence as we wait for the guards to go away. Hi, Elle, how you doing? Mama Agba travels up and down the rows of girls, inspecting the work of their apprentices. Despite my nerves, I grin as she makes the guard wait, refusing to acknowledge their unwelcome presence. Is there something I can help you with? She finally asks. Tax time, the darker guard grunts. Pay up. Mama Egba's face drops like the heat at night. I paid my taxes last week. This isn't a trade tax. The other guards gaze, gaze combs over all the dividers with long white hair. Maggot, rates, rates went up. Wow, maggots again. Wow. Since you've got so many, so have yours. Of course, I gripped the fabric on my mannequin so hard my fist ached. It's not enough for the king to keep the diviners down. He has to break anyone who tries to help us. My jaw clenched as I tried to block out the way maggots stung from his lips. It doesn't matter that we'll never become the magi we were meant to be. In their eyes, we are still maggots. Okay, hi Brazil. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And this the lady. What does she do? She's from Nigeria. Well, American writer. I guess her family bloodline. And it says she studied West African mythology, religion, and culture in El Salvador, Brazil. Okay. I guess you know the book. They're making a movie of it. It's supposed to come out in January 2027. I just thought I'd get a head start because I just found out about the book today. Hey, Def. How you doing? Hello, Def. Let's see. Where I stop. My jaw clenched as I tried to block out the guard, to block out the way maggots stung from his lips. It doesn't matter that we'll never become the magi we were meant to be. In their eyes, we're still maggots. That's all they'll ever see. Mama Egbar's mouth presses into a tight line. There's no way she has the coin to spare. You already raised the divider tax last moon, she argues, and the moon before that. The lighter guard steps forward, rushing for his sword, ready to strike at the first sign of defense. Maybe you shouldn't keep company with maggots. Maybe you should stop robbing us, she said. The words spilled out of mouth. Oh, this is the little girl said that. The words spilled out of my mouth before I can stop them. The room who holds its breath. Mama Agba goes rigid, dark eyes begging me to be silent. Dividers aren't making more corn. Where do you expect these new taxes to come from? I asked. You can't just raise the rates again and again. If you keep raising them, we can't pay. Somewhat, but welcome. I can't remember what we talked about though. The guards saunters over a way that makes me itch for my staff. Saunters. With the right blow, I could knock him off his feet. With the right thrust, I could crush his throat. For the first time, I realized that the guard doesn't wield any ordinary sword. His black blade gleams in his satch, a metal more precious than gold. Magicite, a weaponized alloy forged by King Saran before the raid, created to weaken our magic and burn through our flesh. I was wondering what they used. I gotta write that down, y'all. Cause I'm like, how in the fuck? Excuse my language if y'all children. What did she say it was? She said a black blade gleams in his SAGH, a metal more precious than gold. Okay. MAJAC, adjacent. Okay. A weaponized alloy forged by the king before the raid, created to weaken our magic. Hmm. I see why they cut me off. Okay. And burn through our flesh. Mm. Just like the black chain they wrapped around Mama's neck. So it has some type of, like kryptonite. A powerful magi could fight through its influences, but the rare metal is deliberating for most of us. No, debilitating for the most of us. Though I have no magic to suppress. So, ally. Alloy. I spelled that wrong. And metal. Okay, let's read on. Um, though I have no magic to suppress, the proximity of the magicite blade still perks at my skin as the guard boxes me in. Okay. You would do well to keep your mouth shut, little girl. And he's right, I should keep my mouth shut, swallow my rage, live to see another day. Good evening, Yellow Rose. Hey, how you doing? Def, I'm sorry. Uh, been a long time, maybe not that long. I remember somewhat. Um, and he's okay. But when he's just in, I'm reading a book today. My baby's birthday. She would have been 25 today. Well, she's still 25 today. Whether she's in the spiritual world or not. Okay. I want to play her band she likes called Suicide Boys, but my TV acting funny, so it is what it is. So anyway, but when he's wait a minute. But when he's this close to my face, it's all I can do not to jam my sewing needle into his balded brown eye, a beaded brown eye. Maybe I should be quiet, or maybe he should die. You should. Mama Agbar shovels me aside with so much force, I tremble to the ground. She know the girl's gonna do it. You're finna pump it up. Here, she interrupts with a handful of coins. Just take it. Mama, don't. She whips around with a gaze that turns my body to stone. I shut my mouth and crawl to my feet, shrinking into the patterned cloth of my mannequin. Coins jingled as the guard counts the bronze pieces placed into his palm. He lets out a grunt when he finishes. It's not enough. It has to be, Mama Agate says, desperation breaking into her voice. This is it. This is everything I have. Hatred summons beneath my skin, prickling, sharp, and hot. This isn't right. Mama Agate shouldn't have to beg. I lift my gaze and catch the guard's eye. A mistake. Before I can turn away or must my disgust mask my disguise, he grabs me by the hair. Ah, I cry out as pain launches through my skull. In an instant, the guard slams me to the ground face down, knocking the breath in my throat. Oh, he real big. It's a big man. Woo! Hitting a little girl. Slamming her to the ground. Strong. Wow. You may not have any money. The guard digs into my back with his knee, but you sure have your fair share of maggots. He grips my thigh with a rough hand. I'll start with this one. He a big man, boy. My skin grows hot as I grasp for breath, clenching my hands to hide the trembling. I want to scream, to break every bone in his body, but with each second I withered. His tough erases everything I am, everything I've fought so hard to become. In this moment, I'm that little girl again, helpless as the soldier drags my mother away. That's enough. Mama Agate pushes the guard back and pulls me to her chest, snaring like a bullhorn lionary protecting her cub. You have my coin, and that's all you're getting. Leave now. The guard anger balls at her audacity. He moves to unsheathe his sword, but the other guard holds him back. Come on, we've got to cover the village by dusk. Though the darker guard keeps his voice light, his jaw sets in a tight line. Maybe in our faces he sees a mother or sister, a reminder of someone he'd want to protect. The older soldier is still for a moment, so still I don't know what he'll do. Eventually he unhands his sword, cutting instead with his glaze. Teach these maggots to stay in line, he warns Mama Egba, or I will. Not just he's what, brighter skin, darker skin, still happening today. Still the same shit. His gaze shifts to me, programmed that way. Y'all know that, right? His gaze shifts to me. Though my body drips with sweat, my insides freeze. The guard runs his eyes up and down my frame, a warning of what he can take. Try it, I want to snap, but my mouth is too dry to speak. We stand in silence until the guard exit and the stomping of their metal-soled boots fades away. So metal. Mama Agba's strength disappears like a candle blown out by the wind. She grabs onto a mannequin for support. The lethal warrior I know demolishing into a frail old stranger. Mama. I move to help her, but she slaps my hand away. Odie, fool. She scrolls me in Yoruba. Yoruba's. Uh, yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. The Magi tongue outlawed after the raid. I haven't heard our language in so long. It takes me a few moments to remember what the word even means. What in the God's name is wrong with you? Once again, every eye adheres on me. Even little Basai stares me down. But how can Mama abate Agba yell at me? How is this my fault when these crooked guards are the thieves? I was trying to protect you. Protect me, Mama Agba repeats. You knew your slip wouldn't change a damn thing. You could have gotten all of us killed. I stumbled, taken aback by the harshness of her words. I've never seen such disappointment in her eyes. If I couldn't fight them, why are we here? My voice cracks, but I choke down my tears. What's the point of training if we can't protect ourselves? Why do this if we can't protect you? For God's sake, think, Zelly. Think about someone other than yourself. Who will protect your father if you hurt those men? Who will keep Tazena safe when the guards come for blood? I open my mouth to restore, but there's nothing I can say. She's right. Even if I took down a few guards, I couldn't take on the whole army. Sooner or later, they would find me. Sooner or later, they would break the people I love. Mama Agba, beset voice shrinks, smile like a mouse. She clinges to Yemai's draped pants as tears well in her eyes. Why do they hate us? A weariness settles on Mama's frame. She opens her arms to Basai. They don't hate you, my child. They hate what you were meant to become. Mm. Basai buries herself inside the fabric of Mama's kiftan, muffling her sobs. As she cries, Mama Egba surveys the room, seeing all the tears the other girls hold back. Zelly asks why we are here. It's a valid question. We often talk of how you must fight, but we never talk about why. Mama sits beside down and motions for Yimai to bring her a stool. You girls have to remember that the world wasn't always like this. There was a time when everyone was on the same side. As Mama Egba settles herself into the chair, the girls gathered around, eager to listen. Each day, Mama's lessons end with a tale of fib of a teaching from another time. Normally, I would push myself to the front to savor each word. Today, I say on the outskirts, stay on the outskirts, too ashamed to get close. Mama Egba rubs her hands together, slow and methodical. Despite everything that's happening, a thin smile hangs on her lips, a smile only one tail can summon. Unable to resist, I step in closer, pushing past a few girls. This is our story, our history, a truth the king tried to bury with our dead. In the beginning, Orisha was a land where the rare and sacred magi thrived. Each of the 10 clans was gifted by the gods above the given a different power over the land. There were magi who could control water, others who commanded fire. There were magi with the power to read minds, magi who could even peer through time. Though we've all heard this story at one point or another, from Mama Egba, from parents we no longer have, hearing it again doesn't take the wonder away from its words. Our eyes light up as Mama Egba describes Magi with the gift of healing and ability to cause disease. We lean in when she speaks of Magi who tamed the wild beasts of the land, of Magi who wield light and darkness in the palms of their hands. Each Magi was born with a white hair, the sign of God's touch. The sign of God's touch. They used their gifts to care for the people of Orisha and were revered throughout the nation. But not everyone was gifted by the gods. Mama Agag gestured around the room. Because of this, every time new magi were born, entire provinces rejoiced, celebrating at the first sight of their white coals. The chosen children couldn't do magic before they turned 13. So until their powers manifest, they were called the IBAWI, the divine. Hmm, okay. 13. Barside lifts her chin and smiles. Remember the origin of our diviner title. Mama Egbar reaches down and tugs on a strand of her a marker we've all been taught to hide. The Magi rose throughout Arusha, becoming the first kings and queens. In that time, everyone needs peace, but that peace didn't last. Those in power began to abuse their magic, and as punishment, the gods stripped them of their gifts. When the magic leaked from their blood, their white hair disappeared as a sign of their sin. Over generations, love of the Magi turned to fear. Fear turned to hate. Hate transformed to violence. A desire to wipe the Magi away. Mm-hmm. The room dims in the echo of Mama Egbar's words. We all know what comes next. The night we never speak of. The night we are eager never be able to forget. Until that night, the Magi were able to survive because they used their power to defend themselves. But 11 years ago, magic disappeared. Only the gods know why. Mama Agbar sets her eyes and releases a heavy sigh. One day, magic breathes. The next it dies. Only the gods know why. Out of respect for Mama Agbar, I bit back my words. He speaks the way all adults who live through the rage talk. Reassigned, like the gods took magic to punish us, or they simply had a change of heart. Deep down, I know the truth. I know it the moment I saw the Magi of Ibadan in pain. The gods died with our magic. They are never coming back. On that fateful day, King Siren didn't hesitate. Mama Egba continued. He used the Magi's moment of weakness to strike. I closed my eyes, fighting back the tears that want to fall. The pain they jerked around Mama's neck, the blood dripping to the dirt. The silent memories of rage filled the three hut, wrenching the air with grief. All of us lost the Magi members of our families that night. Mama Edgar sighs and stands up, gathering the strength we all know. She looks over every girl in the room like a general inspecting her troops. I teach the way of the staff to any girl who wants to learn. Because in this world there will always be
diviners. For our children of the fallen Magi, though your ability to become Magi has disappeared, the hatred and violence towards you remains. That is why we are here. That is why we claim. With a sharp flick, Mama removes her own compacted staff and smacks it against the floor. Your opponent carries swords. Why do I train you in the art of the staff? Our voices echo the mantra Mama they has made us repeat time and time again. It avoids rather than it avoids rather than hurts. It hurts rather than maims. M-A-I-M. It maims rather than kills. The staff does not destroy. I teach you to be warriors in the garden, so you will never be gardeners in the war. I give you strength to fight, but you all must learn the strength of resilience. Mama turns to me, shoulders pinned back. You must protect those who can't defend themselves. That is the way of the fast. The girls nod, but all I can do is stare at the floor. Once again, I've almost ruined everything. Once again, I've let people down. All right, Mama Agba sighed. That's enough for today. Gather your things. We'll pick up where we left off tomorrow. The girls filed out of the hut, grateful to escape. I tried to do the same, but Mama Agba's wrinkled hand gripped my shoulder. Mama, silence, she ordered. The last of the girls gave me the sympathetic look. They rubbed their they rubbed their behind, probably calculating how many lashes my own was about to get. 24 ignoring the exercise, 50 for speaking out of turn, 100 for almost getting a kill. No, 100 would be far too generous. I stepped to the side and braced myself for the spinning. It'll be quick. I coached myself. It'll be over before it hits, yelling. Mama Egba hands me a cup of tea and pours one herself. The sweet scent whiffs into my nose as the Texan hits my hand. I squint my eyebrows. This is poisonous. The corners of Mama Egba's lips twitch, but she hides her amusement behind a stern face. I hide my own with the tip of the tea, savoring the splash of honey on my tongue. I turn the cup in my hand and finger lavender seeds embedded in its rim. Mama had a cup like this. Its beads were silver, decorated in honor of Oya, the goddess of life and death. For a moment the memory distracts me from Mama Agba's disappointment, but as the tea flavor fades, the sour taste of guilt seeps back in. She shouldn't have to go through this, not for a diviner like me. I'm sorry. I picked up the beads along the cup to avoid looking up. I know I don't make things easy for you. Like your Mama Agba is a posting damn K-O-S-I-D-A-N, and a reason he doesn't have the potential to be magic. Before the raid, we believed the gods told she was born a diviner and he wasn't. But now that magic's gone, I don't understand why the distinctive distinction matters. Three of the white hair of dividers, Mama Agba could blend in with the other Orishas, avoid the gods' torture. If she didn't associate with us, the gods might not bother her at all. Part of me wishes she would abandon us, spare herself the pain, with her tailoring skills. She could probably become a merchant, get her a fair share of coins instead of having them all ripped away. You're starting to look more like her. Did you know that? Mom Egbert takes a small sip of her tea and smiles. The resemblance is frightening. When you yell, you inherit her rage. My mouth falls open. Mama Egbert doesn't like to talk of those we lost. Few of us do. I hide my surprise with another taste of tea and nod I know. I don't remember when it happened, but the shift in Baba was under undeniable. She stopped meeting she stopped meeting my eyes, unable to look at me without seeing the face of his murdered wife. Said that. That's good, Mama. Agba smiled, flattered into a frown. You were just a child during the raid. I worried you forget. I couldn't if I tried. Not when Mama had a face like the sun. Is that face it's that face I try to remember. Not the corpse with blood trickling down her neck. I know you fight for her. Mama Agba runs her hand through my white hair. But the king is ruthless, Jelly. He would sooner have the entire kingdom slaughtered than tolerate diviner distinction. When your opponent has no honor, you must fight in different ways, smarter ways. Does one of those ways include smacking those bastards with my staff? Mama Agbar chuckled, sun twinkling around her mahogany eyes. Just promise me you'll be careful. Promise you choose the right moment to fight. I grabbed Mama Agbar's hand and bowed my head, diving deep to show my respect. I promised Mama I wouldn't let you down again. Good, because I have something and I don't want to regret showing it to you. Mama Agbar reaches into her kiss, K-A-F-T-A-N, and pulls out mm, a sleek black wad, touching. She gives it a soft flick. I jump back as the wad expands into a gleaming metal staff. Oh my God, I breathe out, fighting the urge to clutch the masterpiece. Ancient symbols coat every meter of the black metal, every carving resemblant, remnant of the list Mama Agba once taught. Remnant. Like a beast of honey, my eyes find the AKOFENA first, the crossblade, the sword of war. Strength cannot always war, he said that day. The Lord does not always shine. My eyes drift to the word I said, AKOMA, Ekama, beside the sword's neck, the heart of patience and tolerance. On that day, I'm almost positive I got a beating that day. Each symbol takes me back to another lesson, another story, another wisdom. I look at Mama, waiting. Is this a gift or what she'll use to beat me? Here, she places the smooth metal in my hand. Immediately, I sense its power, iron mind, ways to crack skulls. Is this really happening? Mama nods. You fought like a warrior today. You deserve to graduate. I raise each twirl of the staff and marvel at its strength. The metal cuts through the air like a knife, more lethal than any oak staff I've ever trod. Do you remember what I told you when we first started playing? I nodded and muted Mama Agba's tired voice. If you're going to pick fights with the gods, you better learn how to win. So she slaps me over the head. Her hearty laughter echoes against the reed wall. I hand her the staff and she rams it into the ground. The weapon collapsed back into a metal wall. You know how to win, she said. Just make sure you know when to fight. Proud and honor and pain swirled in my chest when Mama asked for places the staff back into my palm. Not trusting myself to speak, I wiped my hands around her waist and inhaled the familiar smell of freshly washed fabric and sweet tea. So Mama Agba stiffens at first. She holds me tight, squeezing away the pain. She pulls back to say more, but stops as the seat of the Akia opens again. I grab the metal rod, prepared to flip until I recognize my older brother, Kazani, Kazan, standing in the entrance. The reed cut instantly strength in his massive presence, all muscles and springs, tendons bulged against his dark skin. Sweat rains from his black hair down his forehead. His eyes catch mine, and a sharp pressure slaps my heart. It's Baba. So this was peace. They never come and read it without never reading it. Let's do a little tale. He was just a very, this is his thing to read like it. It's cool. It's exciting. Knowing about the research. It's pretty cool to make a whole movie out of it. Yeah. Yeah. I never read the, well, yeah, some movies I read the book first before seeing the movie. Very cool. What's going on today? Oh, love it. We got the two cups, the straw, two cups of verse, straw, night of warm paper, and a pink water. A relationship, partnership, or yourself. Feel like you divided or breaking up with someone trying to heal. Or previous contract agreement, setting time, um, keeping hope safe. Okay. So I done had three. Take on another. Um, consolation. That's the straw consolation. Always, you know, feedback. Maybe you were Claire, Becky, Monday away. I just didn't want to that to be military. no real pain. Been through the pain, and I go through it now. It's still feeling, still going through the pain. Not just through it, but through other people go through the pain. My name didn't stick it out. I don't know why I don't think it's fine, spiral motion. Something with I think it's to be anything related to the government, especially cash in the car, license plate, marriage license, motorized, not information. I don't know if somebody went to the courthouse, maybe married or something, and didn't have all the information. Or no information, definitely. my time to be really be off me down whatever age I'm to be it's time for you to know, you know, that you feel pain is another side effect of money loss. You know, if somebody giving you some type of money, happy about you, just forgive me, feel, feel good, open my life. Feel me, something, something, survive, both nothing that me, mother, everyone, under, under, didn't make it, make it, All right. Y'all be careful. welcome, so you didn't know who took the car, the photo, but sometimes, you know, mm, I've been saying like I'm still waiting on somebody to find out who messed up my car. So, we don't have any money to do it. London, Disney, Disney, people, then I got some school, school, up to you. So B2 branches, I'm not a note tonight that the more money to he said, but he's the man talking and talking. They said, never do this. And they just like putting on his they got to look at them. But it's kind of mind you, what it is, graduated and came back and worked on I feel like time became my field. I feel, open doors like you want to. the war not to doctor again everything again so that we are going to just the once you do this get myself together and fighting for this is love you hopefully I will have a lot not been there anything things I'm doing stuff things of really the kid and everything keeps happening over and over with Boston too. Really down for I didn't write down one of the Go, get out, boy. Oh, excuse me. One thing. What else? Get in. Sorry about that, y'all. Slow, like, um, so I found, the first one I found was Jeremiah, Jeremy, Aaliyah, but her dad had she's 24, you know, do that. She just said, you know, this type of situation. But I found Michael and Pam Mayfield. They stay in Houston, Texas, and they were last seen in January 10th, 1985. They were 6.5 years old, so they were kind of want to go back before, but they were just kind of 25, 1985, so they were just 40, 40 years old. With my, you know, to David and they made really nice. What is the room? What is the I don't know. It was about Michael and Tom Mayfield separated two groups together. On his birthday. What are they doing in both counties? The boy was doing on the 6th of my sister's birthday. And on the 10th, which they did, years ago, they were both the same. Because they were taking food, putting it in, taking the bunches, putting it in. On the time, can you hear me now? Hey, I'm through. Let me can you hear me now? Jessica, can you hear me? How you doing, Jessica? Can y'all hear me? I kind of just did a prayer, randomly. Um, so,
Let me close out for the third time and come back.
I want to use the same time.